Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this July the 30th, 2023. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Sunday afternoon and evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the satellite imagery for 96L, Invest 96L, that is. Also, we're going to take a look at Invest 97L, located off the southeast coast. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. We're going to take a look at the Watches Warning Advisory map and also take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Monday, and Tuesday. Alright, well I hope everything goes good through this video. This will be 3 times I tried it, and hopefully everything will work right in this one here. So we're going to give it a shot. Hopefully third time's a charm. So this is the 3rd time trying it, so we're going to try it again. Alright, well if you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. As you can see here, we're looking at 96L Invest across the central tropical Atlantic. Looks pretty well organized this afternoon, getting a little more intense and thunderstorm activity around the center of rotation. You see the darker colors of red and dark looking black and white areas there. Looks pretty intense there. These storms are starting to look, this storm here is starting to gain a little bit more strength. So this just so everybody just needs to be on the lookout for a tropical depression to form over the next couple, maybe a day or two, and then become Tropical Storm Emily down the road. All right, let's take a look at some information on this system. Let's take a look at the computer model, SpaghettiOs, that is, they call it. SpaghettiO models. This is from the hurricane models here. North Central Tropical Atlantic and maybe head on over towards Europe. So that's the track of tropical Invest 96L. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance for this system. Alright, we got 25 knot winds here. Takes it out about 12 to 48 hours out. Should become a tropical storm and a tropical, well, over the next 12 to 24 hours should be a tropical depression, and then over the next 24 to 48 hours should become a tropical storm, Emily. So as it continues to move on up, a couple computer model takes it to a strong tropical storm. Also, a couple of them do keep it into a Category 1 hurricane. So we'll just have to wait to see if Emily could briefly become a hurricane as it moves over the north central tropical Atlantic. Alright, let's move on to Invest 97L. You can see here, here's the Invest 97L, located about 100 miles east of Wilmington, North Carolina. As it continues to move on off to the east-northeast, got a pretty well cluster of showers and storm blowing up around the so it could become a tropical storm or a tropical depression as it moves over warmer waters of the tropical Atlantic. All right, that's it. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance. Okay, we don't have the computer models yet for the Hurricane Center models yet, but as you can see, pretty much that's the GPS ensemble. Takes it from the southeast coast all the way out to the northern Atlantic. It's pretty much same areas there. Let's take. All right, here's the intensity guide. About 25 knot wind. Storm. If it did become tropical storm, it would probably become tropical storm Franklin. That's the next name on the list. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see. One do take it all into a tropical storm, almost near hurricane strength. That's the outlier right now. We're going pretty much with just these models here. That could become a tropical depression, maybe borderline with a tropical storm later on down the road. But we'll watch and see. All right, let's move on to the weather radar across the nation. As you can see here, we got there's that system there off the southeast coast of the North Carolina. Well, off the North Carolina coast, that is. That's that 97L we just looked at, bringing showers and storms to the coastal area. Storms up here in North Carolina will continue to move to the south-southeast. Expect more showers and storms to ignite in the Carolinas here. Should produce some showers and storms here as west areas and also upstate South Carolina. Also got a cluster of showers and storms moving through Alabama. We're moving to Georgia later on this afternoon. Scattered activity down here around the Bahamas, down here in just north of Cuba and the Gulf of Mexico. Cuba looks good at this time. Puerto Rico got a few scattered showers there as well. We got a cluster of showers and storms moving through South Dakota. That will continue to push off to the southeast. Should be moving into Iowa later on this afternoon. Got some moving through Minnesota. That'll move into Wisconsin. Scattered activity over southern Canada. Got scattered activity over southwestern Canada. Also through Montana, through Idaho, portions of Utah, Colorado, into portions of New Mexico and Arizona. Also toward Gulf of California. Guam radar currently looks good. Central South Alaska looks got a few scattered showers there. And also around the Hawaiian chain island, got a few scattered showers there as well. All right, let's move on to the watching, warning, and advisory map. Your location across the nation. As you can see, we got pretty quiet conditions, except heat advisory extending through Florida, through Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, over to Arkansas, over towards portions of Missouri, also in the ports of Kansas, through Oklahoma and Texas and South Texas. Special weather statement there as well. Also heat advisory over here in ports of California. Also in the ports of Utah as well. We got sets of heat warnings right along the panhandle of Florida, also in southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, also over here in southern portions of Kansas, a little bit here in portions of north central Arizona. We got a flood advisory over portions of western North Carolina. Got some severe thunderstorm warnings, flood advisories there as well in South Dakota. River flood warning still in effect for you guys there as well. Red flag warning in effect for Washington State, portion of Oregon, also in Idaho and portion of Montana. Also air quality alert for portion of Colorado and also in the southern portions of Arizona, southern California. And heat advisory there for southern California there as well. Special weather statements for central Alaska. Coastal flooded statements for much of Alaska. Central and southern portions of Alaska. Got some gale warnings for you guys. North side, no gale warnings for you at this time. Alright, Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. You can see we got a general thunderstorm from portion of Outer Banks all the way back over to northern Alabama, down in central and southern Florida to the Florida Keys, from Louisiana, back over to New Mexico, Arizona, southern California, back to Montana, from portion of South Dakota, Minnesota, back down into portion of Missouri. We have a marginal risk to the portions of North Carolina, South Carolina, North Florida, to the Panhandle of Florida, all the way back into portions of Missouri and Kansas. Also in Nebraska as well, all the way up to Montana, and also in the north of South Dakota, also over southern California and Arizona as well. We have a slight risk up here in portions of Nebraska all the way into Montana, South Dakota as well, and a little bit of enhanced risk there over portions of South Dakota into portions of Wyoming. Let's take the category. Alright, if you're in the enhanced risk, this is include Rapid City, South Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Spearfish, South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota, Sturgis, South Dakota. That's the enhanced risk for severe weather today. Slight risk include Billings, Montana, Casper, Wyoming, North Nebraska, Sheridan, Wyoming, and Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Marginal risk, this includes the areas of Phoenix, Arizona, Jacksonville, Florida, Tucson, Arizona, Kansas City, Missouri, and Mesa, Arizona. For severe weather this afternoon, the tornado probability, 2%. From Montana down into Nebraska. If you live in Rapid City, South Dakota, North Platte, Nebraska, Gillette, Wyoming, Sheridan, Wyoming, and Scottsbluff, Nebraska, 2% risk for a tornado, damaging winds. We have a 55% in the brown in the Carolina, Florida, back to Montana. We're in Arizona and California. 30% up here in portions of South Dakota and Wyoming. 15% from Nebraska into portions of Montana. Alright, if you live in Rapid City, South Dakota, Spearfish, South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota, Sturgis, South Dakota, Blue Fortune, South Dakota, 30% risk for severe weather. For today, damaging winds, that is, 15% area. This includes Billings, Montana, North Platte, Nebraska, Gillette, Wyoming, Sheridan, Wyoming, and Scottsbluff, Nebraska. And if you live in Phoenix, Arizona, Jacksonville, Florida, Kansas City, Missouri, Mesa, Arizona, Atlanta, Georgia, 5% risk for damaging winds. Today, hail probability, 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow, 30% in the red, and the yellow and red slashed area. That's a significant area for large hail. This includes Rapid City, South Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Sheridan, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Spearfish, South Dakota. Also, if you're in the 30% risk, this includes Rapid City, South Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Spearfish, South Dakota, Rapid City Valley, South Dakota, Sturgis, South Dakota. If you live in the 15% area, this includes Billings, Montana, Casper, Wyoming, North Platte, Nebraska, Sheridan, Wyoming, and Scottsbluff, Nebraska. And if you live in the 5% risk, this includes Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, Overland Park, Kansas, and Kansas City, Kansas. For large hail today. Alright, let's take a look at the day 2 outlook. This is your Monday forecast. Alright, you can see we got general thunderstorm from Maine through portions of Florida Keys, back to Louisiana, all the way back up to Nebraska and Kansas, all the way back into West Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, also into California, Nevada, all the way up to Montana, also in the portion of Minnesota, through Iowa as well. Also over here in portions of Arizona, marginal risk there. Also Colorado, all the way through the Dakotas and portion of Montana and Wyoming. Also in Louisiana, back into Missouri, from east coast of Florida, central Florida, through the Carolinas, all the way into Virginia for your Monday. If you live in the areas of Jacksonville, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee, Denver, Colorado, Tuscaloosa, Arizona, Miami, Florida, surrounding areas, marginal risk for severe weather on Monday. Tornado probability, less than 2% in all areas. Winds, 5% in the brown. This includes Jacksonville, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee, Denver, Colorado, Tucson, Arizona, Miami, Florida, and surrounding areas. The hail probability, pretty much 5% over Missouri, from Colorado into portions of through the Dakotas. This includes Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Rural Colorado, Springfield, Missouri, and Fort Collins, Colorado. 5% risk for large hail. Alright, let's move on to day number 3. We should just have pretty much general thunderstorm. Yeah, we just got general thunderstorm activity from the Outer Banks through eastern South Carolina down to the Florida Keys. Also over into portions of Louisiana, back to Minnesota, back to Montana, and Kansas, and Arizona, New Mexico area, excuse me. And also portions of Nevada as well. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the forecast update. I hope everybody continue to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing. We'll catch you back in the next one. And have a great Sunday evening, and take care, everyone.